Hello, myself Sunil R Nair, and here basically we are talking about that more than 3,50,000 objects basically are there in the Mumbai city. So because object basically I had told more than 3,50,000 because the objects basically keeps on increasing basically. That's basically because that's object basically are connected with the blood cells basically. Blood cells basically keeps on increasing basically. So he told that basically there are 3 lakh. This is basically discussion basically ongoing between one of the World Bank person and between the Sunil Nair basically. That is basically myself basically. So like this in basically real basically there is no person basically sitting in front of the me basically of the World Bank basically. Just taking as an example basically. So how basically the discussion basically if one person basically is doing with the World Bank basically. So how he is going to do the discussion that basically we are discussing. So here basically we are discussing that 3,50,000 basically more than 3,50,000 objects basically are there in Mumbai. Objects means iron is one object, plastic is one object, sand is one object, then foods materials basically oil, petrol, these all are one object basically. Like this 3,50,000 basically are the objects basically in basically the Mumbai city basically. So we have basically calculated each and every. This basically everything basically is the task of the Bollywood group basically. One person literally told that basically because they are basically handling the each and every scene basically of the Mumbai city basically. So that's basically their responsibility basically to basically calculate each and every objects basically. Then basically one of the person told that basically should be the responsibility of city creators, that is the government basically. They should be responsible basically. Then also basically he told that is also basically not possible. So he told that basically each and every group basically are responsible. Then basically he told that basically 3,50,000 basically is the more than 3,50,000 is the object basically, which is basically calculated by one of the software company basically. They told that basically this many objects basically are existing in the Mumbai city. Due to that basically entire Mumbai city is created. So like this basically he told that basically Mumbai city basically contains more than 3,50,000 objects, and we basically are keeping track of each and every objects basically. It might possible that some combination, for example 3,50,000 basically is one combination you can say. So assume that basically some combination basically is attracting the sea water, but this is basically long term effect. But long term effect basically converts to sudden effect basically. So suddenly basically it might possible that in afternoon basically the entire sea water basically come into the Mumbai city. That basically is 100% possible. Mark my word. So like this he told that basically this type of combinations are there basically. From this basically this many combination we have already tested basically, that basically the sea water is not attracting. Reason basically the missile basically company which is basically firing to the sea water basically, and according to that the sea water basically they are creating. We had taken that data from this, literally we had taken the data from the missile company also basically. Up to that level the software company of the Mumbai basically is doing, currently still doing basically, and basically currently still they are there. So like this basically he told that basically missile company data we are taking the data of the sea water, we are taking the data of the combination basically of the object basically the Mumbai city is having. Like this basically we are taking each and every combinations here basically. Then only basically we basically got the log files basically. This all combination basically are attracting the sea water. These all basically combinations are attracting the sea water. Then they basically told that basically which type of sea water basically is attracting. Then they basically contacted to the missile company basically, who actually fires the sea water, and then basically the few chemicals basically merged with the sea water, and that type of combination water basically gets generates in the sea. So that sea was basically that water that missile company's chemicals water basically was attracting to that particular objects basically. Then basically they contacted to that object person, and also basically which assume that was iron or basically plastic basically that was attracting. Just taking as an example basically. So then he told that basically okay, let me contact to the plastic company and the iron company also, and let me contact to the missile company also. I do the meeting, because Mumbai city basically is more than 90 lakh crore basically is the property value basically of the Mumbai city. the Mumbai city value of if you basically calculate the Mumbai city each and every property, basically entire Mumbai city property is more than 90 lakh crore dollar or rupees basically, that you need to check. So he told that basically if basically Mumbai is created up to this money basically, then basically this whole thing basically are a normal thing basically. We can contact to the missile company, we can contact to the plastic company, and we can, plastic mean one plastic basically, one iron basically, that basically I am talking about. So if we can basically easily talk to this all basically companies, and then basically we will try to find out the basically the sea water is not supposed to attract. Then basically if it might possible that basically few missiles explosions basically the Mumbai city basically have to suffer basically. Suffer means basically if sea water is not supposed to attract, then basically they have to suffer. For that basically Mumbai government is there basically, the Mumbai lots of sanstha basically are there basically, who says that basically Maharashtra is our basically, like the Shiv Sena is there, Manase is there, like this if anybody puts some English number plate in the vehicle basically, they literally basically say that basically why you have kept the number plate of English basically, please put the number plate of Maharashtra basically. So they basically can also basically help the money basically. So missile company basically, missile basically they have to fire into the sea water, and then basically the basically attraction basically can be stopped basically. So this whole thing basically a common thing basically. I am just a common man basically, one project manager basically, but currently not working. Currently basically searching for job basically. So if one normal person basically can think up to that level, then basically there are big software companies basically are in Mumbai city basically. They might have thought this long before basically. Not long before basically, when the software company was started, that time basically they might have thought this. I am talking about big software company. Small software company basically they have to take their expense basically, how basically they can think up to that level here basically. They will just think basically, basically I want to take basically I have 130 employees here basically in my software company basically. I need to take care of this 130 employee basically here basically. Then basically how basically they will get the time also basically. So then basically he told that basically basically each and every people basically have their house basically, they have to take care of their house also, they have to take the expenses of their house also, like this basically lots of things basically happens. So the software company, big software company told that basically basically we also basically are like that only basically. We also have certain level of departments, we have to take care of that, but we basically gets the budget of the departments, that basically this is the budget basically, in within budget only basically you have to work. So it's not like that the small software company basically do the costing basically. We are also basically it's like this only. You can't basically talk like that basically. Then he basically literally some talk basically happened, and then basically they suddenly stopped. Then basically they told that basically leave this everything talk basically. Let's basically jump into the matter basically. That is the total objects basically, that is 3,50,000 which is attracted, and for the attraction basically we attract that basically plastic company and the iron company and the missile company who is basically attracting this iron and plastic company. Let's basically talk between to this, and let's do the meeting basically between this group basically. Then then basically the experts basically of the plastic iron basically came into the picture basically. They hired the experts, and then basically the experts basically of the missile company also basically got hired, because they have to hire basically. If the money if the sea water is not supposed to attract, then basically they have to, and this is basically responsibility of central government also basically. So central government also basically jumped into this, and they also basically done the meeting, because one person basically can't do anything. That is the one thing basically. One person basically can't handle the entire city. So basically some group basically is required. So one person basically can't say that basically I am basically, this is my Mumbai basically. He can't say basically like that basically. If he says, then basically he only basically have to handle everything basically. If he basically say basically like that, that means basically he is up to that level basically. That's why basically he's telling that. But that is basically very dangerous thing basically nowadays basically. So basically the group basically is required basically. So like this basically told that basically there are basically 3,50,000 objects in Mumbai city, and we are basically tracking this basically. In next level basically we are going to see little bit about this only.